It all started apparently when I was 4 or 5. My dad was a teacher, and he started working with a guy who had been a birder all of his life, and started going out bird watching with this guy, and it soon became a hobby for him. And when you're 4 or 5 years old, everything your dad does is cool, isn't it? So that's how I got involved. Perhaps if I'd been a little bit older, it might never have happened. I like anything that connects me to a journey. So I like to see or hear the swans flying over. The idea that hearing a noise can sort of conjure up an image of a map in my head with a line on it from Iceland to Scotland. Some of the things like goldcrests and some of the smaller warblers that have come from the Siberian forests and stuff like that. One of these pops up in front of you, and this thing, it weighs 5 grams. And it's flown thousands of miles, flown across the North Sea in horrific conditions, and it's a privilege to cross paths with that. It's the lie of the land, essentially. So it's on the coast. The coast is to fly away for birds, so birds migrate up and down the coast, and it's also the first landfall for anything that is sort of coming over from Europe. So we have birds migrating up and down, and birds arriving. We also have the river. So we have birds that sort of come to Aberdeen Harbour via the river. For example, the large flocks of goosander that gather there in August. And with the harbour, there's a variety of habitats involved. And I've seen 217 species at the headland. What's easy for me is that it's just down the road. From the car park at the Battery, you can sit there with a telescope and watch all sorts of birds coming and going and feeding, and then changing their behaviour as they start to roost. The more I do it, the more I learn about how bird populations change through the year and over the years as well. So every visit is an exploration of what I know or what I think I know about what's going on. And it's all these sort of micro and macro scale changes in bird life. Every visit contributes towards that. If I went out yesterday and then went out today, I would probably see 99% the same stuff on each visit, but it's the 1% that's the really interesting stuff. The little changes. The older I get, I've realised how important it is for my mental health to have that connection. I need to have a connection with nature, and looking out of the window isn't enough, unfortunately. So I have to get out, see and hear things and experience them. You have to have some sort of depth of background knowledge to see those things, but you don't have to have any background knowledge to have them pointed out to you. If you can engage with people at that scale, you can say things like, oh, the eider ducks are declining and have been for 5 or so years, or at a really micro scale, like, oh, there was a flock of tree sparrows that flew over last week and they're a couple of weeks early. All of these things that means something to someone who has no background.